Welcome to Mijas International on this Monday the 14th of October. During the programme today we have the local news with Gabby Ray, and amongst other items she'll be covering the annual flu jab campaign in Andalusia and works on Torremolinos Street in La Cala de Mijas. And also there'll be a reminder about the controlled 1-hour parking in the Plaza Manuel Cortes and the renaming of certain streets in the municipality in order to avoid duplication of names. Our studio guests are Kirsty Dennis, a special needs nurse, and John Leighton and his son, little Thomas Leighton. Over the years, we've been following the progress of Thomas Leighton, and he's not so little now, he's 8 years old, but he does suffer from cerebral palsy, blindness and epilepsy. He needs constant specialist medical care, and just recently Thomas won the Child of Courage Award at the Pride of Marbella Awards, and he really is a courageous little boy. Good evening, Thomas. Good evening. Good evening, Kirsty and
Good evening.
John.
Hi,
Lovely to have the three of you here. Now, we'll catch up with the progress of Thomas in a minute, John, and find out what's been happening.
Okay.
Perhaps we'll start with you, Kirsty, because you're the special needs nurse. You do look after Thomas at weekends. People might remember you when I interviewed you concerning your book, The Mijas Donkey, which is a really lovely read. It really is. But yes, you do look after Thomas at weekends. How did you meet John?
We met through Thomas through horse riding. He came and rode at our riding stables with my girls. And Thomas is a really good horse rider. Yeah. The therapy side of it is amazing for him, isn't it? With his balance and his concentration, and he loves it. Don't you, Thomas? Do you like horse riding?
No. I know he does.
He does.
He does. I know he does. And so what are you required to do then at weekends? What's your typical weekend with Thomas like?
We can do anything with Thomas. We go out and swimming is the main, obviously, with the summer. We go in the swimming pool, don't we, Tom? Which he loves because he can move. He's free, he puts his armbands on and he can swim and he's off unless he decides to take them off, which you have to watch. But yeah, he's a real water baby. That's lovely. But we go down the theatre, don't we, Thomas? And with kind of what you said, Ben. But Thomas can do anything. You don't know. We go shopping and we see our friends and we do colouring and painting. He knows his colours, which is fantastic. He likes to do rainbows. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He actually didn't know his colours up to a few probably a year and a half ago, and we thought he was colourblind as well. I mean, obviously we'd be in blind at the beginning, but he actually knows a lot of the colours now.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. I remember you saying that it was a person from the ONCE that actually took some time with him to teach him how to see, because he's got partial blindness, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a guy called Jose Antonio. It's now gone. It's the next stage with ONCE with a lady called Mercedes. But they come to the school. He's in a special class, special needs class, in a normal school, and they now come. Used to come once a week. They now come once every 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, I mean, he's come on an awful lot in that time.
Yes, he has.
I mean, you probably every time you see him, Karen. I mean, now he's on form today. He's yabbering like a good one, I have to say, and he is. So, but yeah, no, he is coming on.
Yeah, no, he's enjoying himself, isn't he? He's so. I've just seen over the years the difference. You know, I know you were told that there would be lots of things he couldn't do.
Yes.
But because of all this specialist treatment and the devotion, dedication of yourself and Jill, and your friends as well, he's coming along leaps and bounds. But we did interrupt you, Kirsty, and you were telling us about your weekend with Thomas, so I'll let you finish that.
Well, I mean, really, the point with Thomas, what we do is you can do anything with Thomas taking into account his needs. So it can be as bizarre from horse riding to going to the theatre, to going out, to painting. We have a wonderful time with him. It's lovely. It's a pleasure to have. Pleasure to have. And it's nice for John and Jill to get a break, which is important for them. It's just as important as all the work that they do with Thomas. I really believe that, And
now,
it's good.
I hear that you were one of the one of the 2 stars at the El Potro Fun Family Day. That was on the 5th of October, and you managed to raise just over €1,600, which is brilliant,
It's a fantastic
isn't it?
day.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic day.
No, it was.
The generosity of people never fails to surprise me, even down to on that day. I don't know if you remember this, John. Me and my daughter was at the gate, and a gentleman was watching football in the bar, and he came out with a €100 note. I said, I didn't realise it was a charity fun day. There you go.
Oh, that's lovely.
And the generosity of people is fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is good.
This gentleman we didn't know. Even know.
Yeah. No,
And
that's
just
just
done that, which is
excellent.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But it's not, that was very generous, €100, but even the euro from the children, it adds up, it mounts up, and it's good fun.
Yeah.
It's hard work and it's good fun.
It is good fun. And we had a lot of people there. We had a lot of activities throughout the day as well, and some great musical artists throughout the afternoon. And it all adds to the atmosphere.
Yes,
and
it
I think
does.
the main, apart from just raising funds, is on the other side, if people enjoy themselves and have a great day out as well.
Yeah, like you
That's
say,
all
it was
about.
fun for all the family, so it was a lovely afternoon.
was a very good day.
It was.
Now, just to remind people, really, Thomas does need specialist care, constant specialist care, to be able to develop in the way that he is. And this is costly. So you do need to constantly fundraise, and perhaps just to tell us the sort of treatment he has and why.
We do. We still do a lot of things even now with Thomas. Even a few years ago, it's the same. We're doing every morning at the minute. He's in an oxygen chamber every morning. So I put him into the special needs class for an hour. And he has some stimulation there with the teacher, who's actually a new teacher this year, and he's fantastic. He wants to know everything about Thomas, and he wants to know how he operates. And he was talking today about his balance, and he hasn't got any balance. But he was saying, what about if I do this, do that, etc. The teacher's fabulous, and then I pick him up, and we go up to the oxygen chamber in the Zanet Hospital up in Benalmadena. And in fact, this Friday, funny enough, we've got the Lions Club coming down as well, because I want them to see it. Because obviously I'm sure they know people that it could be good for as well. The oxygen, by the way, we did 80 sessions last winter. We're doing this winter another 80 sessions, but actually as from Friday, he's having Botox injections in his legs in Maternal Hospital. And once he's had that in his legs, he can't have oxygen for the next month and a half to 2 months. It doesn't go together. And in that period, we've got to do a lot of stretching with him, a lot more than normal with his legs. And hopefully that, with the stretching, that will ease the tension on the tendons and, do a bit more, stretch the tendons a bit more, hopefully, so we can put his feet almost at 90 degrees. The afternoons, every afternoon is took up with Thomas. For example, we have twice a week the horse riding, which is fabulous, as you know, as well, for his balance, and for really stretching as well at the same time. And we have speech therapy, usually 4 times a week, and we have physio, and it is an ongoing process with Thomas, but he's coming on tremendously compared to what it was like. And even now there are other people still are surprised at what he can do compared to what he couldn't do before. And
he is constantly achieving. I mean, when we first met, Thomas would hang off of your 2 hands. And now, as you saw when we walked in, Karen, it's just 1 hand, and he walked with you. And that's in a relatively short space of time.
And it's just to say about the oxygen. If you ever look online about the hyperbaric oxygen, it's made such a difference, we find, and what we feel in the last year. He's talking a lot more. He's more energised.
He asks questions now as well, which means his processing, his thought is starting to work, which is so encouraging that he asks. And he's naughty, which I love. Because he understands right from wrong, he's questioning it, and then he's working a way round to
and who he can
be
get
a child
away with
and who he can get away with. It's really encouraging when he's naughty.
We're happy with that. A lot of people go, ooh, but...
it's great.
Because Sidran, he's 8 years old, but mentally, he's probably about 4. And he is at that age where they start doing that. And they're testing you. And it's funny, actually, because the other night he still sleeps with us because of the epilepsy, the fitting. But he's not had a fit, touch wood, for the last year. He's had no fits.
That's really good.
So I think give it another year. We might have to bring down the medication again. But because of this, obviously my wife we're quite frightened that if he does have a fit, he has silence fits. and he sleeps actually in between us. We have 2 single beds put together, and he's actually in between us, which is okay for now. He will have to move eventually, obviously, into his own bed. And there was one night where he couldn't sleep, and he was bouncing up and down like a yo-yo, and so we sat him actually on the couch, and you're going to stay there for 5, you know, we'll put you down so you go to sleep there. And after 5 minutes, we're getting up, thinking he's just sat up. What? And Jill says to him, "Why aren't you sleeping?" And he was like he does. He looks up and he turns around and he says,
"Because I'm awake."
Because I'm awake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's great you remembered that.
Yeah.
His memory's phenomenal, I have to say.
Yeah.
And any little thing. Like Kirsty said, and I think a lot of this as well is to do with the oxygen. And physically, he's actually stronger in himself.
Yes, he is strong.
He is definitely stronger.
Yeah. I noticed that when he got hold of Man to say hello, Karen. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But the oxygen is, we've seen tremendous that's coming forward with this. And we were there again this morning, and, you know, he has this an all-round clear helmet put over his head, and I go into the chamber with him, and we're pressurised, and then they have the oxygen. And it's at the pressure, because it's being pressurised, that's when your body accepts the oxygen and oxygenating the blood. It's a slow process, but, you know, we've done 80 sessions last year. I've done 15 up till now. And, as I said, probably from Friday, if he does have the Botox in the afternoon, which is this Friday, then we'll stop it then until after Christmas, then start again. And it'll be every morning. It's a mess for me, but my days broke up so much. But you've got to do this. You know, when you've got children, you do that.
And so how can people help you? In what way? You know, there's different ways they can make donations, or they can give you ideas for fundraising.
I mean, if there are any of your listeners out there or the viewers out there do want to help, please go into www.tlc, as in Thomas Leighton Care -charity.com. And I mean, every bit from the funds actually, we have a charity and we have a committee involved with that, and everything that goes from that is actually all put through the committee, and then they see where all the money's going as well, and what it's all used for, with, you know, with the receipts, etc. for Thomas. But yeah, certainly go into the website, and you can actually do it via PayPal on the donation on the website, which I probably think is the easiest. You know, and if anybody's on Facebook, you can go into that and have a look at support Thomas Leighton, but Thomas without a H, so it's TOMAS. And
likewise, if anyone's got any fundraising ideas, please come forward, and we'll give them all the help that we can, and involvement with it, because it's great to get some different ideas going, and so for a good day out for everyone. That's what we want. It's not just, the main reason is to raise money for Thomas, but to have a generally fun day, and it'd be nice to get some different ideas and stuff how to do that.
Okay, lovely. And also the TLC charity website has helped other parents with children that have got cerebral palsy, because you've been able to give them, you know, ideas about what you've done and the specialist treatment. So it's also there for other people to have a look, isn't it, that are going through a similar situation. Yeah,
of course. I mean, we've now got the set of parents that come in the oxygen chamber because of ourselves recommending this, and they're in there every day as well. And with their child. But obviously there is a lot more out there than what you think in regards to disability, you know, and but, you know, everybody has their own life with it, but there's obviously people that want to know others, and a lot of people don't. So, but yeah, certainly have a look at the website. There is a lot of information on there and a lot of posts. But it's very informative. But yeah, certainly, well, I mean, you can see we're very open about it, you know, and just organise the next event, and you know, hopefully it gets the word out, it gives out the awareness as well.
It does. And, anything coming up in the near future?
I think the next one could be Iceland. Iceland.
Right.
On the 14th of December. I've got to confirm that, actually.
That's great. If anyone wants to come down and pack bags, but we have so much fun, because it's coming up to Christmas, and will Ricky be coming?
Oh, they all will.
The Scouts, was it the Scouts that helped last time?
They were tremendous. They were tremendous help.
Oh, well, as soon as we've got all the details about it in a month or so's time, we'll make sure everybody knows.
They will do.
Thanks to all three of you, and you, Thomas. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you, and I hope you have a good week.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks. And got a short publicity break now, and then Gabby Ray will be with us with all the latest local news in English, followed by Lena Semenova with the latest local news in Russian. So do stay tuned in. I'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
Good evening and welcome to the news in English here on 340 International Television. It is Monday, 14th of October, and we begin speaking about the national campaign against flu that begins today here in Andalusia, and there will be 1.5 million vaccinations prepared for this year. The age limit for the vaccination has been increased to 70 years of age this year, and the campaign will be directed mainly at elderly persons who reside in homes for senior citizens or spend long periods at centres. The Council for Health and Wellbeing of the regional government has started the campaign to vaccinate the population at risk against flu, for which €6.5 million have been invested. More than 47,000 citizens over 65 years of age living in residences will be vaccinated, as well as those between 65 and 70 who have never been vaccinated before, as it has been proven that the immunity lasts longer than the flu. The 2012-2013 campaign also includes those citizens of any age that suffer determined chronic health problems, who could suffer severe respiratory or heart problems, cancer, immunological or metabolical alterations. According to the Health Department, vaccination is also recommended for those persons who are in frequent contact with the aforementioned risk groups, and for health professionals, and those working in community services, both for their own protection and to avoid the risk of infection. Pregnant women are also recommended to have the vaccination at any moment during the pregnancy to avoid herself or the baby catching the flu. Citizens can request an appointment to be vaccinated at their local health centre and on the Salud Responde number, which is 902 50 50 60. That's 902 50 50 60. In Andalusia, there are presently 1,516 centres offering the service. The new vaccination is trivalent, which means that it has proven its capacity to protect against the AH1N1 virus, as well as another two types, that is type A and type B, that have been circulating in the southern hemisphere, where the flu season has already begun. The local government has announced in Mijas the beginning of the works to fully remodel Calle Torremolinos in La Cala. This is the process to contract, the process has begun now to contract the works, and Calle Torremolinos is one of the main streets of La Cala as it links the boulevard with Calle Torreón. It is 153 meters long and houses a number of businesses and restaurants. The street will be completely renovated with these works, which include removing the pavements and eliminating any architectonic barriers to improve access. The drainage system will also be completely renewed on the street, and the aerial cables will be placed underground. Finally, the lighting will also be improved along the whole of Calle Torremolinos. When finished, the street will be a one-way street that will be 3.2 meters wide, with plenty of room for pedestrians. The budget for the works is €199,000 plus VAT. We continue talking about parking because Mijas has limited the parking in the area of the Manuel Cortés Square to 1 hour. This is up in Mijas village. The area affected is the one between the municipal market and the post office. For those needing to park to load and unload merchandise, there are now 6 parking spaces available, and also another 2 for persons with reduced mobility. The Councillor for Public Works, Juan Carlos González, assures that the intention is to favour the activity of the municipal market and the post office, but also that the rotation of spaces will favour tourism in the Old Town in Mijas. The times at which the spaces are limited will be from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. There are 10 spaces limited to 1 hour, 6 for loading and unloading merchandise, and 2 for persons with disabilities. Residents are asked to cooperate by leaving a note with their time of arrival inside the vehicle. The spaces will be available for unlimited time between 3 in the afternoon and 9 the next morning. The Mijas Town Hall has initiated a plan to establish order within the different streets in urbanizations within the municipality. The intention is to avoid duplicities with the aim to improve a number of public services. The streets, avenues or roads will be given a second name which will coincide with the urbanization or area in which they are situated. There are a number of repeated names of streets in Mijas, most especially in the urbanizations, which has led to confusion at the post office and for emergency services also. In the cases where the names are doubled in Mijas village, Las Lagunas and La Cala, there will be no need to include a second name as these areas are identified already by their postal code. In this regard, the basic income employees are presently carrying out a study to check the numbers of properties in urbanizations and to make sure that these coincide with the cadastral information, where necessary to propose the renumbering of plots and homes situated on one same street. We move on to the promotion of Mijas because it has been the star of a program in the regional autonomous television, Canal Sur. It's a program called This Is My Village, Este Es Mi Pueblo, and it's presented by Rafael Cremades. The program offered a tribute to the Mijeños yesterday, and this has been the Mijeños who have been outstanding for their charity and altruistic work. The program was, as we say, broadcast yesterday afternoon on the autonomic Canal Sur channel. The public Andalusian television recorded this program throughout last week in Mijas. Este Es Mi Pueblo is a one-hour program that includes interviews with the residents of the different villages in Andalusia, and it speaks of the customs, gastronomy and typical corners of the towns and villages. In the program on Mijas, Rafael Cremades covered the San Sebastián school, the large number of foreign residents in Mijas, which we must remember make up 40% of the population, the donkey taxis and, as we mentioned, different persons who have stood out for their charitable work. If you would like to see the program, it is available on internet at Canal Sur a la Carta. You scroll down there on that page and you'll see the program Este Es Mi Pueblo, and it says Mijas right next to it. Moving on with a concert that took place this weekend, and it was to raise funds for Cudeca. They organized a charity concert on Saturday entitled A Song to Life. It's Un Canto a la Vida in Spanish. The concert took place at the Maria Cristina Hall in Malaga and included the cooperation of lyrical artists from Malaga and the Unicaja social program. Tickets were by donation. The event was organized to raise funds for persons with terminal cancer in need of palliative care. The concert began with some words by Emilio Alba from Cudeca, and after this, 25 different soloist singers from Malaga offered a lyrical night of charity, singing pieces by Mozart, Dvorak, Verdi, Bellini, and others. At the end of the concert, Diego Vázquez from the Unicaja social program, Emilio Alba and Susan Hannam from Cudeca handed each of the artists a sunflower, which is the international symbol for palliative care. The event raised just over €708, which will be used towards the costs of the assistance programs offered each year to more than 800 cancer patients. All services offered at Cudeca are free of charge, and the centre needs as much help as possible to continue with their priceless work. The images on screen are actually from a previous concert for Cudeca offered last year with the pianist Chucho Valdés at the Cervantes Theatre. I imagine if we start to speak to you about Christmas right now, you're probably just going to groan or say it's much too soon, but there is a reason for it, and this is because the Christmas lottery is already out for sale. The Spanish Christmas lottery, which is officially known as the Sorteo Extraordinario de Navidad, or simply Lotería de Navidad, is a national lottery. It's organized every year since 1812 by a branch of the Spanish public administration, now called Loterías y Apuestas del Estado. The name Sorteo de Navidad, or Christmas lottery, was used for the first time in 1892. The Spanish Christmas lottery is the second longest continuously running lottery in the world. This includes the years during the Spanish Civil War, when the lottery draw was held in Valencia, and afterwards it was relocated to Madrid. As measured by the total prize layout, the Spanish Christmas lottery is considered the biggest lottery worldwide. In 2012, for example, if all the tickets were sold, the total amount payout of prizes would be worth 2.52 billion with a B euros. The total amount of all prizes of the first category, called El Gordo, the big one, is 720 million euros, and this is distributed among 180 winning tickets. So with just a little more than 2 months to go for the big day, some already have a collection of participations, or décimos as they're known in Spanish, while others prefer to wait until the last minute. So just keep in mind, as they say in Spanish, si no juegas, no ganas. If you don't play, you won't win for sure. So that's the Spanish Christmas lottery already up for sale. And we continue with the Cultural Centre at La Cala. This is offering a new exhibition of paintings, and this time it's a collective exhibition by 12 different artists from the Costa del Sol. Among these are Manuel Jiménez, Ascensión Moreno and Natalia Madueño. The exhibition is centred on religious art and was inaugurated on Friday at 8 p.m. at the Cultural Centre in La Cala. It will remain open to the public until the 5th of November. We continue now with hiking, as the Almoradú Mountaineers Club has organised the 5th Sierra de Mijas trek, and this is going to be taking place on Saturday the 26th of October. Nature lovers will cover a demanding 28-kilometre route. The registration period is open now for this until the 22nd of October, and the route appears within the official calendar of the Mountaineers Federation and will take some 10 hours to cover. The Mijas Town Hall is cooperating with the logistics. The Almoradú Club has stated that the route is possible thanks to the help received by different companies that sponsor the activity. Participation will cost €12 for members of the Federation and $15 for those who are not. We remind you that it will be a demanding route, and you will be required to have good physical health to participate in this. Starting at 8 in the morning on the 26th of October, this new trek will take participants through the Puerto Colorao, Alaurín, Pico Mijas, Puerto Málaga, La Graja and Arenales. So it's going to be a 10-hour route, as we say, that will be quite demanding. The special prizes for this event have been made by members of the Association AFESOL for those with mental illnesses in the province of Malaga. And now a quick promotion of something that we will be bringing you here on the programme, or here on Mijas International, on Wednesday. This is coming up, not this Wednesday, the one coming up, because one of the projects worked on at the Mijas Town Hall is the PEPRI. This is a special plan to protect and catalogue the historic centre of Mijas. We have spoken about it with the Mayor in our previous programme. And as we have been informing here on 340 Television, Radio and in the Mijas Semanal, the Town Hall has organised 2 open meetings for residents about the PEPRI. The first meeting was last Tuesday. The next one will be tomorrow. One of these meetings, as we say, did take place already, and the one coming up tomorrow will be starting at 5 p.m. at the Assembly Hall in the Mijas Town Hall. The meetings are led by architects that actually drew up the programme and the project in the first place, and the idea is that the residents in the village participate and be informed about this plan, in order that they may introduce any comments or observations that could be included in the final project. Mijas International, as I say, will be offering a special programme on Wednesday the 23rd of October with full information in English about the PEPRI plan and how it could affect the area where you live in the old town in Mijas. If you speak Spanish, it would be recommendable to go to the meeting tomorrow at the Town Hall, and if not, as we say, 23rd on this same programme, we'll be offering you a full translation of the most important items of these 2 meetings, so that you also, speaking English, maybe not speaking Spanish, will be able to have a say in what goes on in the old town with the PEPRI. And we round up with the Hotel Carmen in Mijas, because the Hotel Carmen, which is situated in La Cala de Mijas, will be offering an art gallery to the students of the Open University. Thus, local artists will have the opportunity to be seen by the general public. The Hotel Carmen opened its doors to the public just a few months ago and has ample space on its walls to be decorated with local art as decided by the owners. This month, the hotel is decorated with art by a student from the Open University, Borja Ekstrom, and we had a brief word with him. And finally, after our weather, you will be joined by Elena, who will be bringing you the Russian news here on 340 International Television. But first, let's take a look at what the weather is going to be offering us for tomorrow. As you can see, we are one of the few places now in Spain that are still enjoying full sunshine, and we can expect this for tomorrow again. 15th of October, we're going to have a sunny day with maximum temperatures of 27 degrees and a minimum of 19. This just about rounds up our news for you today here on 340 International. And coming up tomorrow with Karen before the news, you'll be seeing her speaking with someone from the PAD, and they're talking about a special event that's coming up at the Centro Nautico in Mijas, on the Mijas Road, and this will be on Sunday the 20th. But Karen will have much more information for you about this event tomorrow on the interview. So I'll be back with the news after that, and hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye.